If you've ever wondered how Zapier works, this video is for you. Zapier is a powerful automation tool that helps you connect your favorite apps and move information between them without needing to code. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you the basic workflow so you can understand how Zapier operates, how to build your first automation, and how to test and publish it the right way. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more simple software guides just like this. Alright, let's jump right in. The first thing you want to do is go to Zapier. Once you're on the platform, look for the Create option. This is where Zapier lets you start building new automations. After that, click on Zap Workflows. That is the main area where your automations, also known as Zaps, are created and managed. Now let's break down how a Zap actually works. A Zap usually starts with a trigger. The trigger is the event that tells Zapier, hey, something happened, now do something else. For example, a new email in Gmail, a new row in Google Sheets, or a new form submission can all be triggers. So go ahead and click on triggers and begin setting that up. Next, search for an app. For this example, you can choose Gmail. Zapier makes this part easy by letting you search for almost any supported app. Once you find the app you want, select it. Then you'll choose an event. The event is the exact thing you want Zapier to watch for, like a new email, a new attachment, or a new labeled message. Pick any event that matches your workflow idea. After that, Zapier will ask you to log into your account. This step connects your app to Zapier so the platform can access the data it needs to automate tasks. Once your account is connected, your trigger is ready to use. That means Zapier now knows what action should start your automation. Now it's time to set up the second half of the automation, which is the action. Click on Action. The action is what Zapier does after the trigger happens. If the trigger is receiving an email, the action might be adding data to a spreadsheet, sending a message, creating a task, or updating a record in another app. Just like before, search for another app. In this example, you can choose Sheets. Then click on the app and select the event you want. This could be something like creating a spreadsheet row or updating a cell. Again, choose the event that fits the task you want to automate. After that, log into your account so Zapier can connect to your app. Once both the trigger and action are connected, Zapier will let you build it in the top area. This is where everything comes together. You can review how the automation flows from one app to the next and make sure the steps are correct. Think of it like creating a chain. One app notices something happened and the other app responds automatically. Before publishing, always click Test Run. Testing is important because it helps you confirm that your Zap works as expected. If something is mapped incorrectly or an app connection needs attention, testing will usually help you catch that before the automation goes live. Once your test looks good, you're ready for the final step. Click Publish. That's it. Your Zap is now active and ready to run automatically in the background. From this point on, Zapier will keep checking for the trigger you set. And every time that trigger happens, it will perform the action you chose. This is what makes Zapier so useful for saving time and reducing repetitive work. So in simple terms, how does Zapier work? It connects one app to another using a trigger and an action. You choose what starts the automation, choose what happens next, connect your accounts, test the workflow, and publish it. Once it's live, Zapier handles the process for you automatically. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support the videos and lets you know when the next guide is ready. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.